Looking back now, I can't believe how fast everything unraveled with Daniel. I'm Olivia, 32, and tonight I'm curled up in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house in Dallas, wondering how my life managed to circle back here. The laugh that slips out of me isn't cheerful. It's bitter, heavy with the weight of regret. None of this was the future I had imagined for myself. I first crossed paths with Daniel at a friend's housewarming party. Rachel had just bought a cozy little townhouse, exactly the kind of place I used to dream of, and I remember feeling a pang of envy. Rachel seemed to have it all. Her career on track, a fiancé who adored her, and now a perfect home. Meanwhile, I was burnt out from dating apps, drifting between disappointing flings, and half convinced real love was something I'd never find. And then there was Daniel. He had an easy charm, dark hair, and a calm confidence that drew people in. But what stayed with me wasn't his looks. It was the way he listened, like my words actually mattered. That night, we talked endlessly, and by the time I left, I carried something I hadn't felt in years. The fragile spark of hope. Maybe this time would be different. For a while, Daniel was everything I thought I had been waiting for. He showed up fully, in every sense. I never doubted how deeply he cared. Our relationship moved forward quickly, but it never felt rushed. Within a year, we were engaged, and not long after, married. It was everything I once longed for, safe, steady, and certain. But somewhere along the line, certainty began to feel like suffocation. His steadiness became predictable, his reliability too familiar. He wasn't the kind of man who whisked me away on surprise adventures or kept me guessing. Instead, he remembered the way I liked my coffee and sent flowers just because. He planned carefully, cared deeply, and loved quietly, and I started resenting him for it. It began with little things, rolling my eyes when he double-checked what we needed from the store, teasing him for being too thoughtful, letting friends joke about him being more husband material than boyfriend material. At first, I laughed along. Then, I started to wonder if they were right. Had I settled? Was I choosing comfort over passion? Stability over excitement? That single question began to grow roots inside me, twisting into doubts I couldn't shake. The breaking point came one night at a dinner party. We were all sitting around, wine glasses in hand, tossing around conversations about love, fate, timing, choices. Without thinking, I laughed and blurted out, "Honestly, if I could do it again, I probably wouldn't have married Daniel." The words fell heavy into the room. Silence followed, thick, suffocating silence. When I glanced at Daniel, his face was unreadable, except for the way his knuckles tightened around his glass. "Wow," he said softly. "Good to know." I tried to take it back, to explain, but the damage had already been done. The look in his eyes wasn't anger or even heartbreak. It was emptiness. That scared me more than anything. That night, he didn't argue, didn't shout. He just went to bed without another word. I told myself he'd calm down, that we'd work it out in the morning. But morning came, and he was gone. His side of the closet was half empty, his toothbrush missing. On the nightstand, next to our honeymoon photo, sat his wedding ring. I stared at it, numb, refusing to believe this was real. I called, I texted, but there was nothing. Days stretched into weeks, weeks into months, and reality sank in. This wasn't just a fight. This was the end. What hurt most wasn't only losing him. It was realizing how easily he rebuilt his life, while I was still frozen in disbelief. One afternoon, I saw it with my own eyes. Daniel sitting outside a cafe, laughing with a woman who looked effortlessly self-assured. She carried the kind of ease I never had, the kind that doesn't crave validation or second-guess choices. And the way he looked at her, it was the same way he used to look at me, back when I still deserved it. For a moment, I wanted to walk over, to remind him of our history, to beg him not to erase what we'd had. But I didn't, because deep down I knew the truth. I had lost him, not because he stopped loving me, but because I never loved him in the way he deserved. Regret doesn't crash in all at once. It drips slowly, drop by drop, until you're drowning in it. I had something rare, something extraordinary, and I let it slip away because I was too blind to value it. Daniel didn't walk out because he grew tired of me. He walked out because he finally understood that I would never give him the love he gave me. Now he's making someone else happy. And I'm back in a room I grew up in, haunted by the echo of my own mistakes. They say you don't realize what you've got until it's gone, but that's not always true. Sometimes you know exactly what you have. You just never believe you'll actually lose it. And when you finally do, it's already too late.